So there are different personalities, and you have to find what works for you. But I would like to say that every one of us were created to need that human interaction where we're able to share our emotions, we're able to share our processes, internal or external, and we're able to deal with them.
Something just popped into my mind. There was a series, I don't even know if it's still on, but there was a series on the History Channel for years called Alone. And if you're not familiar, they would drop people off out in the middle of nowhere, and those people were forced to survive. And everyone that couldn't make it to the end, one of two things. One is what caused them to leave. But one of those two things was no human interaction.
Yes.
So they couldn't get that self-care for their soul
Yep.
because they had nobody. I mean, they could have done like Tom Hanks and found something and called it Wilson and talked to Ed or whatever. Which
but they didn't have any soccer balls.
Right, but a couple of them started talking to Tree. Anyway, well, that's a whole rabbit hole we're not going to go down. But it was the loneliness.
Yes.
And that kind of goes back to the Gen Z that we talked about, you know?
Yeah.
They could not stand, the quiet was one thing, the solitude was another, but not having another human being to interact with and talk about your emotions and stuff, that just all killed them inside. And they just said, enough, I got to go home.
Yes, and they were out there in solitude, so they were they had nothing to distract themselves from.
Right.
Yes, that was a great show.
Yeah,
I love that show.
good show. Okay.
That's a really good point, too. Yeah. Very good point.
All right, kind of went on a bunny trail there, but that's okay. Well, in the next episode, we interviewed Brian, talked to him about self-care for the spirit. And I know that he brought up something that you think about it, you hear it, you understand it, but you don't necessarily internalize it. He talked a lot about in the book of the Song of Solomon. That whole book, it reads, if you read it, when you read it on the surface, it sounds like a king who is trying to convince a woman that he is interested in that she is worthy of his advances and his love and affection, when we all know that that's basically a parable or an analogy of Christ and the church.
So good.
Yeah, and so we have to be the ones to help take care of our spirit. We have to know like we know that we are worthy of the pursuit that God is giving us, and the fact that He is treating us like the bride because the church is the bride of Christ.
Wow.
And we have to accept that. I'm sitting there listening to him. I'm like, you know what? I've known this for years, but it really hit home.
Knowing is a different.
Yes.
So different. Yes.
Yes.
No, that doesn't make sense, but it's so true.
So that was and by the way, all these episodes, we'll have links in the description to all of those in case you missed any.
Oh, that one was very powerful.
Yeah, that was very, very powerful. Well, then when we finished off the series, when you and I met and we sat down and talked about self-care for our bodies, and I shared a story of an event, a cardiac event that happened with me in the last couple of months, and the importance of taking care of our bodies. We think we are. Most of us, we think we are. Well, I eat right most of the time. I get some exercise. Sometimes it takes a little bit more than that. And for those of you that are on the younger side of the age spectrum that are watching this, I know you've heard this before and you're going to hear it again, but trust me, as you get older, it does not get any easier.
Just do it.
You just got to do it.
Just like Nike, just do it.
Yeah, just do it. So please take care of your bodies. Again, one of the legs of the three-legged stool. If you don't do it, your stool's going to fall over and you're going to tumble.
Yes, it's so true. If you're taking care of your soul and you're taking, and you're doing the mind, will, emotions, and you're taking care of your spirit, which is spending time with God and feeling that, but you're not taking care of your body, well, you're going to meet Jesus sooner.
Yeah.
So, and you won't have to worry about talking to anyone. But no, seriously, that is so important. Taking care of our bodies usually is last on the list, honestly.
It really is, because we talked about a go, get it done. I'm not going to rest until this task is complete. Sometimes you just got to pull up short and say, you know what, I'm tired. My wife and I have been moving recently. We're selling our house and moving into another one. I know tired, but I also know to listen to my body. And when my body says enough,
time out.
I don't care if I'm in the middle of unpacking a box. Yes. I stop and I either take a time out, or if it, depending on the time of the day, just might tell my wife, hey, you know what, we're done. This can wait. It's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter if we finish it tonight or first thing in the morning. And that's really important. Back in the day, I'd have been like, no, I'm going. Yeah, just bust right through it. But that's not take care of my body back then. But I'm a lot more self-aware of taking care.
And it's not a superpower.
No, it's not a superpower. It isn't. And even you mentioned in that segment about the physical fitness / weight loss journey that your household is embarked on, and it's only getting better. From what I'm seeing, like you guys have lost like a person in weight, over a
size man, adult person. Yeah.
Yes.
Lost
Yes, but you're taking care of your body,
and it does get easier because you get into a routine, just like anything else. I say, someone asked me just literally right before we started this podcast a few minutes ago, what I want to do with the things that you guys have been doing, but where do I start? What is number one? And I said, well, honestly, number one is a decision.
Yeah.
Number one is you got to decide that you're going to do it no matter how much it sucks. And I don't know if you're allowed to say sucks on there.
Yeah, we're going to say it.
And you got to do it. And I think number two is get the sugar out of your life. And I didn't say that I don't eat sugar ever, but I have to say that I'm very aware. And you know what's good for your body and what's not. We were taught as children, especially people in America, we were taught in elementary school about the food pyramid. And I know that's not all great science anymore. They've learned, but we've learned what was good and what was bad. And what's at the bottom of the pyramid? Sugar. And so, it's in everything. Read labels, take time to invest in your health, invest in your body, because this is the only one we got.
Yeah.
And we may get a new body on the other side of earth in heaven, but we're going to need this one right now.
Yeah. Take care of the one you have now, please.
Yes. And, but yeah, health, it's what, you are what you eat. So, and exercise, these things are so important, but it does get easier. I've noticed with my household, saying the words, hey, you want to just go to the gym after work, is not something that we would have even thought about a year ago.
Right.
Because it was like, no, I'm just going to go home, eat a cheeseburger and lay on the couch,
Right.
But now it's like, it's become a habit. So it's like, well, yeah, my gym bag's in the car.
Let's go.
I'm prepared. I've made a decision, and I know that every day my gym bag is in the car. And I know that Monday through Saturday, honestly, we're going to be at the gym at some point for at least half an hour. And it's a commitment. So I'm not doing it perfectly, but I'm perfectly committed to, if I mess up, guess what? You got tomorrow.
Yeah.
You can start back. If you eat a candy bar today, a couple of weeks ago, we were at Walmart and I grabbed a Snickers bar. And my husband looks at me, he goes, you're not supposed to eat that. And I said, but sometimes you need to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to grab a candy bar. And I even logged it in my fitness because I have one of those apps that tells me what to eat, whatever. And my fitness thing said, good job. This will help you stay on track every once in a while.
Nice.
And I went, see, this is okay.
Nice.
Because every once in a while we need to eat a Snickers bar or whatever it is that we need or want, because, it's not, but we don't do it as a way to reward ourselves.
No.
We do it as a way because we're doing the track. We're doing the right things. And every once in a while, it's not going to hurt us to eat a Snickers bar.
No.
Unless we're diabetic or something, then it may hurt us.
Listen to your body. Your body was probably telling your brain, I
need some sugar.
I really want a sugar rush, and that Snickers looks really good. So.
And the thing is I ate like half of it, and I didn't even want the rest of it. And I was like, man, before I would have ate the whole Snickers bar and been like, hey, can I get one of those multi-packs?
Yeah, licking the wrapper and everything like that.
So it is progress. But be patient with yourself. Give yourself some grace. But you also have to come to a place where you know that you've made a decision and you're going to stick with it. And find it, and it goes back to what Gail talked to us about. Find an accountability partner, even with your health journey.
Yes.
Because it's been amazing that our household has done it together.
For months and months.
We've done it since November. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And but we can, so then when one of us is going, hey, I'm heading out to McDonald's, the other person goes, I'm riding in the car with you and we're not going there.
Right.
We're gonna go to the salad place, or or let's find a healthy alternative to something that's salty, sugary. So it's been good. Find an accountability partner. That would be my advice with the food journey.
Well, you mentioned something when we talked one other time, and I just got to ask before we wrap this up. Have you found any asparagus that tastes like a cheeseburger?
No, I definitely haven't. But I did talk about last time that when you do make the decision, asparagus starts to taste better. And your
With
body,
time.
yeah, and your body starts to crave. We got this amazing air fryer, and you can put just about anything in that air fryer. Put some spray healthy oil on it, and a little bit of salt and pepper or seasoning. And I'm gonna tell you something. Asparagus begins to be something you go, hey, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make some asparagus. And I'm like, who am I?
Who would have thought, right?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to get home to air fry some asparagus.
But in the air fryer, everything tastes better.
It
So
does.
get you a good air fryer. They are amazing.
By the way, we're not endorsing any particular model or brand. So.
No,